Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Okay, so I want to make some shaker cards, and this is using something else out of my Use It or Lose It box, because I know Wednesday's video was a Use It or Lose It box video. And so these are shaker card elements by Impression Obsession, which unfortunately they are going out of business and are on their final sale days, I believe, right now, which makes me very sad because they were one of the first online companies I bought stamps from. But these are from ages ago. In fact, they're self-adhesive, but I'm not sure how sticky they still are. But they're little domes in circles and squares for doing shaker cards, and they're not very deep, so you can't put a ton of stuff in, so we'll be very light-handed with what we stick in our shaker cards. And they also then made shaker cardstock overlays, so just a piece of cardstock, but the opening perfectly fits the shaker card element like so. So I want to use these because they've been around in my stash forever. I've also pulled out, this is the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Stamptember 2024 stamp set. And Stamptember is an event over at Simon Says Stamp. They have exclusive releases, and it's kind of one of those, once all of the items are sold, that's it. So unfortunately, I don't think any more of these stamp sets are available, but just go through your stash and find some elements that will fit in, like for these, since I'm using a specific size, but you can cut your whole openings for doing a shaker card any size. I'm trying to think if I've done a shaker card on video without using like specifically bought elements. I know Tim Holtz also has like shaker domes that you can put on cards, and I actually picked up some of those and then remembered I still had these and hadn't used these and was like, why did I do that? But I figured these elements will fit very nicely in the openings for these shakers. So what I have done is I've gone ahead and I've cut out pieces of cardstock. This is my Express It paper because I'm going to use Copic markers to color my images. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring over a piece, bring over one of our covers. And okay, so apparently this isn't quite, these pieces measure, what do they measure? 5 1/4 by 4, and I cut all of these to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to have to trim all of those up, or trying to decide, do I center it and then just ink on the edges of this piece? Maybe that's what I do. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my overlay, I'm gonna take my piece of Express It cardstock, I'm gonna lay my overlay down, I'm gonna take a pencil and mark where my opening is so I know where to stamp my image. And then what I'll do is I'll run marker down the edges to color the edges. And what I want to do on these guys is stencil. So I'm gonna keep them paired up just in case everything's not exactly uniform. I'm just gonna paper clip them together for now. Then once I stamp the image, I'll write on the back of the topper piece which image it is going with, and then that way I won't have to worry about matching everybody up later, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm just gonna go through and do that with all of the pieces. Kind of center it as best I can. Trace my opening. Paper clip and move on. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back and then we'll get to our stamping. Okay, I've pulled out my Misty. I've marked all the pieces. So let's go ahead and stick this one down and pick our image. Let's see, is Rudolph gonna fit? Rudolph will fit. Let's do Rudy. Well, he's not necessarily Rudy, but I'll probably color his nose red now that I've called him Rudy. Gonna ink up my stamp. Stamp. Want it a little darker, so we're going to go one more time. There we go. And I'm going to write on the back of this, Rudy. So I don't have to keep them together anymore. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to clean off my stamp real quick. Pull over the next one. Let's do our little boy or caroler or whatever we want to call him. And we're just going to repeat the process. And just write boy, because that's quick and easy. And move on to our next one. All right, so now we're going to color our images in. And let's see, let's start with, let's do Elf and Santa and our little boy caroler, mostly because then we can pull out our flesh tone color and color in their faces all at once. I'm not going to go too heavily or too crazy with blending colors on these guys because they're so small, but I will do a little bit of blending. So I've got E4 zeros. Then I'm coming in with E2 zeros. Oop, not there. Kind of adding a little bit of shadowy bits. And then I'm going to blend with my E4 zeros, mostly because I need to re-ink my E3 zeros. And so I would use that here, but I have not re-inked it and I don't feel like pulling that out now. All right, we're going to do the same thing on our elf. Just touching the lighter marker to the darker marker to pull a little extra color on so that I could add a little more color to the face. Now I'm also going to come in with E93. We're going to see how this works to give them kind of rosy cheeks. I feel like his nose needs a little pink on it too. For the nose, I'm going to blend it a little bit. All right, so that's stage one of those guys are all done. I'm going to give him brown hair, and we're also going to do our reindeer in browns, kind of going like color family wise on these guys to help minimize the number of markers I have out or am pulling out and then putting back and pulling out and putting back. All right, for him, we're just gonna, because there's not a lot of hair, just go in with E25 and give him some brown hair. Then our reindeer, I'm gonna do E30, E25, and then use E23 to blend. And I'm not fully coloring in the ear because I'm going to come back in with like one of my light red colors to give him pink in his ears. And I'm getting a little sloppy here. So I'm going to grab my colorless blender and basically push the color out of where I don't want it. All right, gingerbread man. I want to bring in, I think, E8 and E17 because I feel like gingerbread should have some red tones to it. And our E8 is a reddish brown. And I'm going to use YR24 to blend. All right, now we're going to go through and color all of our reds. So let's start with Santa's hat, and I've grabbed R22, R17, and R27. Now for our little gingerbread man, I'm just going to come in with my darkest color and do the frosting on his hands and feet. For our Christmas tree, I'm going to do the pot in red. Grabbing E17 and going back, I missed a spot over here, so we're just gonna do that there and use it for the trunk. Now let's get our greens going. All right, we're gonna go YG3, G7, and YG9. I'm going to use some green to darken that up because it's on the opposite end of the color wheel. So that'll give us a good, nice little shadow in our bow. Now for the lighter green stripes, because I want to have it two-toned, I'm just going to use the YG3 again. So it's a single marker blend. I'm going to go in on the edges and then go over it one more time to smooth everything out. Again, on this one, I'm just going to use my darkest green and color in his buttons. Now we got our tree. And I'm going to go even darker with the tree, and so I've grabbed G28, blend with the G7. Oh, I forgot Frosty. Let's pull him over and do his scarf in greens. Do his hat band in red. I'm gonna go back in, and this one needs a little more red because the green kind of encroached. I'm gonna just put some Y8 for the star and for his curl. To deepen our shadows on our bow, I'm grabbing the R17 again. Grab my G28 because that needs to be darker still. And Frosty's hat and nose are our last ones. So I'm grabbing C5, 7, and 9 to do his hat. I'm grabbing YR4. I'm going to do YR18 to add some character to his carrot. And that's everybody colored. Now, let's see, for our top layer, what I want to do is some, oh, that's everybody colored, except we need to go around our edges. So let's grab, I'm gonna go G7, and I'm gonna go basically just run a line down the edge. So that when we put our top piece on, that's close enough, it'll serve as a mat for what we're doing on this piece. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera so that you don't have to be bored to death watching me do that. I do want to show you what I want to do for our top piece. And I had candy cane. Let's start with the candy cane one. And I've got, it's Fawn Peppermint Stripe stencil, and I am just gonna stencil this guy. I'm gonna use Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide for this one. So that's the first stencil, and then the second stencil lines up to do some skinny stripes on there. Now you could change color, but I think I want to keep this one all a single color. Ooh, I need to go gently on these because they're shifting a little. A smaller brush might work better for this. It's not as neat as I would have liked it to be. Definitely have to be careful when using this stencil. And so that will go with our candy cane. Like so. And I think I'll probably put like a sentiment here to cover up the fact that that got a little bit messy. So I'm going to go and stencil all of the top layers because I don't think you need to see me stencil 8 more pieces. And I'm probably going to use a variety of stencils. Like I have Snowflake stencil that I think I'm going to do in red and green from Frosty. I've got a plaid lawn fawn stencil. I might pull that out. So I'm going to do that and I will come back once that's all done. Okay, so I've gone ahead and finished all of the stenciling on all of the cover pieces. So we're just going to put everybody together now. And I'm going to start with this guy. And I'm going to grab the plastic piece and a cloth to wipe it off so that we don't have smudge or dust or dirt inside our shaker part. And I am going to grab sequins. I've got my tub of sequins off to the side here. Put a little bit of red and green. These are Christmas tree stickers, but I think I can pull the sticker bit off the back and toss a couple of those in. Okay, that took way more effort than I thought it would. And now I just dropped in it. Oh, there it is. I think what I may do is I'll grab one more, peel the backing off, and just add a little powder, because that is a way you can de-stick sticky stuff, is a little bit of baby powder. Just gonna put a little on my board. Grab a soft bristled brush and just go over the sticker part. Do this one just to make sure. And now it's not sticky anymore. All right, so I'm gonna put 2 Christmas trees. Now these are not very deep, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with what I put inside. So let's do a couple red sequins and a couple green. Now these guys started life as self-adhesive, but it's not very sticky. It's a little sticky. So we're gonna go ahead and add some glue as well, just to make sure it sticks. It's been a little cold, so my glue's thickening up. And so it's like, no, I don't want to come out. It's too cold. All right, we are gonna line that up with our pencil marks and press it down. And I left a hair on the inside and we're stuck with that now. And then that will go over top. So we'll just glue this down. And there we go, a little shaker. All right, and so we're pretty much going to repeat the same process. I'm not going to put trees in all of them. I just thought with the Christmas tree, the trees were particularly appropriate. All right, I'm also going to I'm going to run a little powder on the inside, because those anti-static tools are really just a bag of powder. And then we're going to brush that off just so that we don't have any cloudiness, in hopes that that will de-static it sufficiently. Because the sequins are sticking to the one for the tree. Yeah, I've got stuff falling over everywhere. All right, let's do a few red. I've got a different color of green, so we can add some green. Apparently didn't grab any gold sequins. Got the 2 colors of green and the red. And I think I may be going overboard a little bit. So what I will probably do, let's pull over another one and move some of those sequins over there. All right, so we got all of our card fronts done. We've got Rudolph, Santa, a present, a candy cane, Caroler, Frosty, Gingerbread Man, which probably should have had some more sequins put in it, Elf, and Christmas tree. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.